You know? Yeah, you know.
Geico could help you save on your motorcycle insurance, and that should make you and your bike very happy.
It's the PM Show Weekend Edition. This is CRN Digital Talk Radio. Nationwide, coast to coast, this channel of your TV set, this radio station. Once again, the star of the PM Show Weekend Edition, the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer.
Thank you so much, Michael Horn. You don't forget to strap yourself in.
I'm sorry.
You got up and you went to...
I went to get some coffee from the stewardess, Courtney.
You went back to the buffet.
Yeah, I did. Tommy Lasorda was back there.
Well,
I can't believe that.
News to me. There's more than just two of us on this airplane.
Yeah.
All right. We were talking about Colin Powell on the David Gregory show, and whatever he calls
also
it.
known as Meet the Press.
It's Meet the Press. Yeah,
I
right.
think he's taking it over.
Yeah.
It's the David Gregory show.
It's the David Gregory show.
Meet the Press.
I put it on the David Gregory. I put it there because it is just as equal to Conan O'Brien or Jimmy Fallon, who I've never been able to figure out. Anybody could get a show if they give Jimmy Fallon a show.
I think he's kind of funny. You can't figure him out.
Come on. Seriously?
Oh, the only time I had a problem was when he was gushing over Nancy Pelosi like she was like the biggest star of the world. He was like just gushing over her.
I saw
that. Made me actually nauseous.
I saw that. Well, exactly.
Oh, we have the great Nancy Pelosi. Oh, it's
No.
And she was sitting there with that plastic look on her face because a lot of stuff is tied right behind her head. She's had some of those surgeries done over there.
It's a big bow knot in the back of her head.
In fact, there was a gentleman back there with his knee trying to make sure it was cinched.
Yeah, it's like a girdle. That was her face. All right.
Colin Powell. Now we apologize. No, we don't. Okay.
I don't apologize. I'm not in an apologetic mood. We've been apologizing too much.
Yes, we have.
That's the problem here. I don't apologize for anything we say on this show. I think we're
just don't sit right behind Nancy Pelosi in case something breaks.
Let me write it down.
A couple of guys lost their eyes back there when something flew off the back of her head.
Yeah. All right. Colin Powell. We're going to pick him up. He's still with David Gregory. He's still flapping his jaw, promoting propaganda. The beauty of this is two lying propagandists who pretend to be on opposite sides of the political spectrum. That's the beauty of this. When you watch this, when you listen to this, you've got one guy, it's as if he's turning to the audience and winking. Watch this question I ask the conservative Colin Powell. You know Colin's black. I know he's light-skinned, but he's really black. Listen to this answer. And then he comes up with this dumb question, and here it is. The Republican Party will be in trouble if they don't change along with the country. Here we go.
I think what the Republican Party needs to do now is take a very hard look at itself and understand that the country has changed. The country is changing demographically. And if the Republican Party does not change along with that demographic, we're going to be in trouble.
That's a racist statement.
When we see that in one more generation, the minorities of America, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans will be the majority of the country, you can't go around saying we don't want to have a solid immigration policy. We're going to dismiss the 47%. We are going to make it hard for these minorities to vote, as they did in the last election. What did that produce? The court struck most of that down. Most importantly, it caused people to turn out and stand in line because these Republicans were trying to keep us from voting.
Oh, okay. I got to tell you, look, I don't even know where to begin. Let me just try and take a stab at it, then you can jump in.
Okay.
First of all, it's a racist statement that he would make, that he would define America according to a demographic of blacks and browns. Number one, he's saying that if you're black and you're brown, you think a certain way. The whole idea behind being a conservative and selling conservative constitutional conservatism to everybody, regardless of their color, regardless of gender, regardless of their beliefs, religiously or anything else, is to give all people the opportunity to be free, sovereign, under God, without government intrusion. This guy's promoting government intrusion. This guy here, Colin Powell, is promoting and using this excuse that the Republican Party has to now start thinking racially in order to get elected. No, it doesn't. All it has to do is start promoting to everybody, regardless of their color, regardless of their race, regardless of anything else, treat them as American citizens and teach them what has not been taught to them in the last 35 years, and that is why this country is the greatest for everybody. And if you want to break it down, should you choose to break it down into race, color, demographic, then you can simply say nowhere in the world has blacks and browns and everybody else, gays or anybody else, been treated better than they have here in the United States. And the reason for that is the Constitution. So it's the Constitution that I'm promoting. The further you go away from the Constitution, the more you get into trouble trying to sell America on their individual freedom. The further away from center you get, the further left you get from center, the more you're entrapped into giving things away for their vote. And that's what Colin Powell is doing. David Gregory knows it. It's pathetic. And this guy, this general, God bless him for being a general. But when I first saw this guy, I was very nervous about him. This is a long time ago. You know, I liked him when he was a general. But then you start to learn about these people and you understand that this guy is just like everybody else. I don't put this guy in a different category than I would Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton. I really don't.
I think they're confusing conservatism with being a Republican. And people just say if you're Republican, you're conservative. It's a big difference here. As you just mentioned, you can be conservative because you want everybody to have a free and equal shake on all this kind of thing, and they make this whole thing mean the same thing. Can we hear it one more time? Can we hear Colin Powell? Can we listen to this one more time?
Indeed.
Yeah, let's listen to that one again.
I think what the Republican Party needs to do now is take a very hard look at itself and understand that the country has changed. The country is changing demographically. And if the Republican Party does not change along with that demographic, they're going to be in trouble. And so when we see that in one more generation, the minorities of America, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans will be the majority of the country, you can't go around saying we don't want to have a solid immigration policy. We're going to dismiss the 47%. We are going to make it hard for these minorities to vote, as they did in the last election. What did that produce? The court struck most of that down. Most importantly, it caused people to turn out and stand in line because these Republicans were trying to keep us from voting.
He's a total liar. That's total BS.
He's completely a liar.
Because it's immigration. If you're not here legally, you are in violation of the law, and those people should be deported. I'm sorry. I'm tired of people saying just because you're here, you need to stay here. You got here illegal. You robbed a bank. You killed somebody. You're coming to this country illegally. If it is against the laws of the country, you need to have the laws take care of the situation. And that's where the Colin Powells of the world keep going in and saying, that's why you don't want to vote. It's like if you're a legal person, you should vote.
Left of center, believe me, that's what he is.